Hello and welcome to Quarterlight. Quarterlight is a fledgling YouTube channel where we look at car brochures from around the world. And today we have the Volvo 480. Okay, so the Volvo 480, a car described by Volvo as a four-seater with sporty styling. It was produced between 1986 and 1995 at the Bjorn factory in the Netherlands, where they used to produce those lovely DAF automobiles. It was also the first front-wheel drive car offered by Volvo, so it was really a look into the future, I guess. The brochure itself is a real quality brochure actually. It's a very shiny paper, really thick cardstock. It would have cost a bit to produce this one. This one's from the UK, where in fact most of the Volvo 480s were sold. It's dated, if I see, August 1993, so it's one of the later Volvo 480 brochures. So it shows all the different engine choices. The 1.7 of course from Renault. We've also got the turbo on here, and also 1993 was also the date when the 2 litre was available as well, so it's got all them in this brochure. Anyway, we'll open the brochure up and see what we can see inside. So here we go, we turn the page. We're now looking at a Volvo, the base model, the 480S in Paris Blue Metallic. So this would have been the same 1721cc Renault engine, but without the turbo. So we're talking 115 miles per hour, 10.7 seconds 0 to 60. You know, anything but a sports car really. You bought this car really for the styling. It wasn't a quick car by any stretch of the imagination, even in the 80s, and now this particular brochure's in the 90s. It was probably a little bit on the slow side even for, you know, standard hatchbacks. But nevertheless, like I said, a big bold move by Volvo. Some Volvo enthusiasts kind of like shunned this car, called it a DAF. It was built in the Netherlands. It was front wheel drive, but nevertheless I always did like the styling, and I guess the styling is the reason why you did particularly purchase this car. It says here, the distinctive 480 is one of a kind, a true four-seater sports coupe, yet with all the versatility of a hatchback. Its low front sweeping windscreen, elegant lines and boldly cut tailgate reflect a car that is ready to go places. No longer need you make a choice between spirited performance and safe motoring, between comfort and tenacious road holding. So it's really trying to say that, you know, it's still a Volvo, it's still got all the Volvo safety features. And in fact, this was, I think, one of the first cars, or maybe even the first car, to introduce the sort of like American 5 miles per hour impact bumpers. And it also, one of the reasons why it had pop-up headlights at the front was to meet the sort of American safety standards, saying your headlights had to be a certain height, so it could keep that nice sloping down bonnet, but, you know, still have the headlamps at the right size, or height I should say. Next page is our first glimpse at the interior dash more specifically. And I really did like these instrument layouts in the 480. So let's turn the page and have a better look at them. So here we go, these gauges. And like I say, I really like these gauges. You can see straight away this is a turbo version. We've also got a nice turbo gauge on there. Always looks very 80s, particularly this little fuel gauge with these little bars going up it. Looks very 80s even on this 90s example. Very well equipped. So we've got this electronic information center, central locking standard on all 480s, electric glass moonroof standard on the 480 ES and turbo, cruise control as an accessory, front electric windows, etc, etc. So a well equipped car, and the price reflected that. You certainly had to pay up for those all those equipment on the 480, it was really aimed at the sort of younger crowd than what was normally you'd think as a Volvo seller, but also a crowd with certainly a better job than average. So here we go, the interior shot. Very nice seats, but you can see it's a true four-seater. No chance of getting a fifth passenger in there with that arm cubby type box in between the rear two seats. Not a great deal of leg room for the rear passengers, but nevertheless they could fit. So here we go, power and pleasure. We're back to that 480 turbo in black metallic. A nice shot of the front of it, although sadly in this brochure nowhere does it show the pop-up headlamps in the upward position. I guess they didn't really want to spoil the lines of the car showing it with the headlamps up. But an interesting little feature on the 480, little pop-up headlamps, like I say, really there to meet regulations of headlamp height. So now this little page about road holding and of course the engine. It's talking about stopping power of the ABS and the traction control, but more importantly it's showing for the first time this Volvo 2-litre engine. Like I say, this is when the new engine was introduced, 1993, and this particular engine did 119 miles per hour and it did dead on 10 seconds, so somewhere in between the two models. It was, again, wasn't a lightning fast car. You would certainly think a car of this type would be faster than that for sure. And you really couldn't have a Volvo brochure, even a Volvo like this one, without having a page in it talking about safety. We're now back to that Paris blue metallic base model 480 with a page entitled Personalising Your Volvo 480. So looking at those little add-ons you could add on this particular model, it's got these, I think it's pronounced Cetus or Cetus alloy wheels, which are optional, front spoiler, and we've even got a mobile telephone, which obviously we can't see, so there we go. I guess the aerial is the indication for that. But yeah, we'll turn the page and look at some of the accessories. So here we go, the accessories page, and some real classic late 80s, early 90s optional extras you could put on it. Things like your stereo radio cassette, even a CD changer that holds 6 CDs. We've got a control panel for the electric windows, a CD controller, the old-fashioned alarm immobilizer that used to wake you up in the middle of the night when it got windy, a pollen filter, various different alloy wheels you could get. So we've got a Visa, Taurus, and that Cetus, weird names. Fog lamps you can have extra on the cargo cover, pull out, roller blind, and these very nice Venetian blinds for the rear. I do particularly like the Venetian line. I think that's my favourite optional accessory. And we've got these load carriers from when you're going in the snow and doing a bit of skiing, something that nobody ever used to do. But there we go, that's the extras you could get. And if you look at the right hand side here, this is, like I said, a 1993 brochure, and already Volvo are talking about the future, this hybrid electric car concept. And of course Volvo, an early adapter of electric, no doubt a manufacturer that's going to be 100% electric. And then finally, right at the back, the brochure folds out 3 ways to show us all the technical optional extras, etc. So we've got the standard and optional equipment on the left hand side for the 3 different choices, the 480S, the 480ES and the 480 Turbo. In the centre we've got the technical information for the 480S, 480ES, 480 Turbo with performance figures, weights, wheels, etc. and the dimensions at the bottom. On the right hand side we've got that all important interior choice, whether it's going to be upholstery or leather. And then at the bottom we've got the different colours. So we've got a choice of polar white, bright red, black metallic, this very striking peacock green metallic, Paris blue metallic, and a steel grey metallic. So well, there we go, the Volvo 480. In fact, in the Geneva Motor Show 1990, there was even showed a convertible version. There was talk of them bringing out a convertible. Never happened. So what do we think about the 480? Well, it was a bit of a strange car, really, wasn't it? It wasn't really a sports car. Some people even say it wasn't really a Volvo. It's kind of like this very strange little car. I liked it purely for the unusual styling, and that's really what it was all about. Today, if you can find a nice low mileage one that's rust free, there still aren't very much money. I would certainly snap one up. I would imagine prices will eventually catch up on them. But there we go, the Volvo 480. There'll be many more brochure reviews in the near future, so please do subscribe, comment, like. It's all free, so I do appreciate all of that. But for now, we'll say take care and goodbye.